Hello students, so this is our chapter number 3, quality of irrigation water, and we are going to discuss our first point, that is dissolved constituents and their functions. So the dissolved constituents present in irrigation water can be broadly divided into two different classes. So first one is major constituent and second one is minor constituents. So what are major constituents? Some cations like calcium, magnesium, sodium, potassium, and the anions are carbonates, bicarbonates, sulfates, chlorides, and nitrates. These are major constituents. Okay, so next point is minor constituents. So what are minor constituents? Minor constituents contains boron, silica, nitrites, sulfide, and fluoride. So the dissolved constituents are classified into two different classes. First one is major and second one is minor. So let us discuss in short what are major constituents. So first major constituent is calcium. So what is first major constituent? Calcium. It is an essential element. Calcium is very essential element for plant growth. It is found in almost all natural water, soil, different types of plants, plant tissues, animal bones, etc. So hard water is also characterized by high concentration of calcium or magnesium, or sometimes both calcium or magnesium. A calcium soil is friable. What is meaning of friable? Friable soil means that soil easily reduced to powder. So a calcium soil is very friable, and that soil allowed to penetrate water very readily and is a good structure, and it is of good structure. That's why calcium rich water is desirable, and hard water makes the soil soft. Okay, so next constituent, that is magnesium. Symbol is Mg. So seawater normally seawater contains this mineral or magnesium. So seawater and mineral spring contains high concentration of magnesium. So natural water also contains some magnesium, or natural water is also having some magnesium traces. The carbonates, hydroxides, oxides, and phosphates of magnesium are sparingly soluble in water. It makes the water hard and has similar effects in physical and chemical properties of soil as calcium. So that magnesium makes the water hard and has a similar effect in physical and chemical properties of soil as calcium soil. So this is our next major constituent, that is magnesium. So our third one major constituent is sodium. Symbol is Na. Na is sodium. It is an alkali metal, that sodium belongs to alkali metal group. In seawater, concentration of sodium may be about 10,000 ppm, about 1%. It is about 1% which is present in sea, or the concentration of that sodium in sea is about 1%. All the salts of sodium are soluble in water. So sodium, when present in exchangeable form of the soil, even at a low concentration compared to other cations, it creates the unfavorable physical and chemical conditions for plant growth. So exchangeable sodium tends to make the moist soil impermeable to air. When it is in exchangeable form, or the exchangeable sodium tends to make the moist soil impermeable to air. So air can passes through that soil. Air cannot passes through that soil to air and water. That sodium makes the soil impermeable to air and water, and on drying the soil becomes hard and difficult to work. So the adverse effect of sodium increases as the soil dries. Whenever soil gets dry or soil dries, the adverse effects of sodium increases. So increasing amount of sodium on the exchange, that's why complexes leads to formation of carbonate alkali, that is black soil. When soil having carbonate alkali or the percentage of carbonate alkali is more in that soil becomes black, or that soil is black soil. So sodium makes water soft. Then our next constituent is potassium. So formula is K. Except silicates or silicates minerals, most of the potassium salts are readily soluble in water except silicates. Potassium silicates is insoluble in water, but except silicate, most of the potassium salts and other salts of potassium are readily soluble in water, since it readily combines with other products of weathering. It combines with other products of weathering, particularly the clay mineral. Okay, the clay minerals. So its concentration in natural water rarely exceeds a few tenth of milliequivalent per liter. Though reaction of potassium with soil is similar to that of sodium. So it gives similar reaction that of sodium. That's why its effects are not harmful. So the effects of sodium is not harmful. It is an essential element for plant growth. It is a simple salt, that's why it is very essential element for plant growth. Then high concentration of potassium may induce magnesium, or it induces magnesium deficiency, and it causes iron chlorosis. So potassium concentration in different river waters varies from 0.06 to 0.74 milliequivalent per liters. So this one is our major constituent is potassium. So our next major constituent is carbonate. Formula is CO3 2-. So this carbonate, sodium carbonate, which is present in mineral springs. Okay, it is present in mineral springs, but in traces, most carbonates are applied in irrigation water. But in traces, most natural waters, and sodium and potassium carbonates are water soluble in acids. So these two carbonates, like sodium carbonate and potassium carbonates, are water soluble in acid. If soluble carbonates are applied in irrigation water to soil in absence of calcium and magnesium, soil becomes alkaline. If calcium and magnesium are present, then CaCO3 is precipitated and it has no harmful effect on soil. That's why sodium carbonate is undesirable in irrigation water and is extremely toxic to plants. Okay, so our next major constituent is bicarbonates. So chemical formula is HCO3-. That bicarbonates, or it occurs in natural water as a calcium bicarbonate and exists in solution. So evaporation or high temperature converts calcium bicarbonate to calcium carbonate due to release of CO2. So calcium and magnesium bicarbonates are present in solution, in most irrigation water, and in most cases may be present as main salts. Bicarbonates are important for irrigation purpose and tend to maintain an excess of calcium in the soil. So this bicarbonate is not harmful to plants. So we can apply that bicarbonates directly to the plants because these carbonates are not harmful to that plants. So our next constituency is sulfate. Sulfate formula is SO4 2-. Sulfate has no characteristics action on soil other than to increase salinity. It increases salinity, but in presence of soluble calcium, it precipitates as calcium sulfate. Its concentration of sodium chloride increases. If the concentration of sodium chloride increases, then the solubility of gypsum is also increases. Therefore, plants readily get sulfur in the form of sulfates. So, our next major constituents is chloride. Formula is Cl minus. We can see all natural water contains variable quantities of chlorides. Its content in stream or river water receiving industrial waste is high and may reach to a toxic level. A common salt like sodium chloride, we use that common salt in our household work. So that common salt or sodium chloride is found in high concentration in the sea and in some groundwater. All common chlorides are soluble and the concentration increases in soil solution and in drainage water. So accumulation of chloride ions in plant tissues causes certain toxic substance. Water containing less chloride is more suitable for irrigation for all types of crops. So the water must be contain lesser amount of chlorides. That water is more suitable for irrigation for all types of crops. So our next point or next constituent is nitrate. So chemical formula is NO3 minus. Small amount of nitrate is derived from lightning discharge in the atmosphere. This is the main source it is a small source of nitrate, where the nitrogen is converted into nitric oxide, which when dissolved in rain or rainwater from nitrous and nitric acid. All nitrates are water soluble because they are salts. All nitrates are water soluble and can easily be leached or easily leached out. Then oxidation of nitrogenous organic matter and fixation of atmospheric nitrogen are the chief sources of nitrates in the soil. So that nitrate rich water is good for the crops and has no harmful sources of nitrate in the soil. So that water is good for all types of crops. But the high nitrate concentration in drinking water is an indication of pollution. Potassium and nitrate in irrigation water easily act and minimize the harmful effect of salinity on plant growth. So presence of potassium nitrate in wells of Gujarat and other states are beneficial to tobacco and other different vegetable crops, which is beneficial for tobacco because Gujarat is famous for the tobacco and other different vegetable crops. So these are our major constituents. So our next point is minor constituents. So in minor constituents, first one is boron. So this boron, it occurs in the form of boric acid. That boron occurs in the form of boric acid or boric acid or borax or calcium borate in hot mineral springs. The boron content of natural water may range from less than 0.01 ppm to more than 30 ppm. So concentration above 10 ppm occur in water from hot springs or brines. In acid water, it occurs as a boric acid. Chemical formula is H3BO3, that is boric acid, and in alkaline water at pH 9.2 or more than pH 9 and above as a tetraborate. Tetraborate formula B4O7. So that boron is a toxic to plants. It is very toxic material. Since its concentration is very low, toxic effect is not observed. So boron is essential for normal plant growth. So irrigation water containing more than 1 ppm of boron may cause injury to more sensitive vegetable crops and more sensitive vegetable plants. So our next constituent are silica. Okay. So formula is SiO2. That silica is very abundant in nature. It occurs abundantly as silicate minerals, okay, in our nature. So natural water contains 10 to 50 ppm silica and maybe more in alkaline soils. The quantity carried by irrigation water appears to have little effect on soil and plants. Our next minor constituent is nitrite. Nitrite is chemical formula NO2 minus. It's not nitrate, it's nitrite. It is not present in normal irrigation water. That nitrite NO2 minus is not present in normal irrigation water. It may be found under an aerobic conditions in closed drains and stagnant wells. The nitrite occurs as an intermediate step in the oxidation of organic nitrogen to nitrate. Since it is easily oxidized to NO3, its harmful effects are not common. So it doesn't show common harmful effects. Okay. So our next point or next minor constituent are sulfides. Chemical formula is S minus. In natural water, it occurs as a hydrogen sulfide. It is found as a hydrogen sulfide in our natural water. So it is detectable by its characteristic odor. It is characteristic odor like rutenic. Deep wells may contain considerable quantity of H2S. In aerobic condition, it is oxidized to sulfate easily and therefore do not have harmful effect in soil and at plants. It doesn't show any harmful effect to soil and plants. Our next constituent is fluorine. Formula is F minus. So it is fluoride, iron. It is essential for animals. It including animals including man also or human being also. That is very essential element. It is toxic to plants when it is present in excess amount. Excess fluorine in drinking water and irrigation water produces dental and skeletal disorders. Fluorine contains in excess of 1 ppm in drinking water and 10 ppm in irrigation water is harmful. The scale is if more than 1 ppm fluorine present in drinking water, then it is harmful for human beings, or more than 10 ppm fluorine which is present in irrigation water, so that is 10 ppm fluorine is or more than 10 ppm fluorine is harmful for irrigation water. Fluorapatite is the main source of fluorine in water. Fluorapatite is the main source of fluorine in water. In some Punjab and Haryana wells, fluoride content varying from 0.11 to 13.6 ppm found to be toxic. In arid and semi-arid regions of Rajasthan, fluorine content is very high and it is therefore toxic to vegetable crops and plants. So these are our minor constituents. So we already have discussed what are major constituents and what are minor constituents, and which is that constituents differentiate or classified into two different classes like major and minor. So our next point is reclamation. So what are reclamation process? Process of recovering of alkali soil involves the replacement of absorbed sodium by calcium or magnesium and leaching of the sodium by irrigation. So high calcium water means that water is hard water, helps in its claim that high calcium water or hard water helps in its claim. The application of gypsum or other amendment to produce available calcium in the soil also helps to reclamation. This is how hard water makes soils soft and soft water makes soils hard. So next point is percent sodium. What is percent sodium? The adverse effect of sodium in soil is closely related to the ratio of sodium to all cations in the irrigation water than the absolute concentration of sodium. The ratio is called as percent sodium, and we can calculate that percent sodium with this formula, that is percentage of sodium or percent sodium is equal to sodium divided by Ca2 plus Mg2 plus K plus sodium plus. So this is formula to calculate percent sodium, or it is the ratio of sodium to different cations like calcium, divalent calcium, divalent magnesium, monovalent potassium and monovalent sodium. So concentration is terms of milliequivalent per liter. Its concentration is in milliequivalent per liter, and increased concentration of sodium in irrigation water increases its concentration in soil solution, which replaces calcium and magnesium from soil or soil complexes and gives sodic soil. So today we already have discussed the constituents or the dissolved constituents in dissolved constituents and their classes like major constituents, then minor constituents, then our next point is reclamation, and a last point we already have discussed, or we just discussed, that is percent sodium. So in our next topic in our next class we will discuss another point, that is water quality standards. Till then, goodbye. Thank you.